All right, if you're planning to take the PTE Academic test anytime in the future, you're going to want to listen closely. The exam is getting one of its biggest updates ever, and today we are going to unpack every single thing you need to know.
So let's just cut right to the chase. The headline news from Pearson is simple. The test you've been preparing for, it's about to be different. A new format is coming and you'll need to be ready for it.
Get your calendars out because this is the date, August 7th, 2025. From that day forward, anyone who sits the PTE Academic will be taking this new version of the test. That's the cutoff.
Okay, so what does this big update actually mean for you, the test taker? Let's get into the specifics of what is actually new here.
First thing you need to know, the number of question types is going up. We're moving from 20 different tasks all the way up to 22. And that's because they're adding 2 brand new speaking tasks to the mix.
So the first new task is called Summarize Group Discussion. And, this one's a pretty big deal. You'll listen to a 3-minute conversation with a few different speakers, and then it's on you to deliver a 2-minute spoken summary. This is all about testing your ability to synthesize, to pull together different ideas and present them coherently.
And the second new one is Respond to a Situation. This is all about thinking on your feet. You'll get a common, real-life scenario, and you'll have about 40 seconds to give a spontaneous response. They really want to see how you'd communicate in a practical, everyday situation.
Now you might be wondering, where does the time for these new tasks come from? Well, the test itself is getting longer. This means that your stamina and how you manage your time are going to be more critical than ever before.
So here's the number to remember. The new total time for the test will be 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's an extra 15 minutes you're going to have to plan for in your strategy. Okay, this next change might be the most important one of all. They're introducing a hybrid scoring system. So the AI is still going to handle the technical side of things, like your fluency and pronunciation, but, and this is a big but, actual human reviewers are now coming in to grade the content of your answers. They'll be looking for things like relevance and originality.
And this human review isn't just a small tweak. It's going to apply to 7 different tasks, including those 2 new ones we just talked about. The message here is pretty clear. They are trying to move people away from just memorizing templates and really reward genuine communication.
And one last thing on the updates. The scoring rubrics themselves, the rules for how you get your score, are being refined. And for the sake of transparency, Pearson has also put out a new official PTE to IELTS score comparison chart, so you can see exactly how things line up.
Okay, I know. That is a lot of change to take in. But before you start to feel overwhelmed, let's talk about our anchor here. What's actually staying the same?
So, take a breath. The core of the test is still going to feel familiar. That 3-part structure isn't changing. You'll still get your results super fast, usually in about 2 to 5 days. It's still recognized globally for visas and university admissions. And this is important. The PTE Core and PTE Home tests, they are completely untouched by these changes.
So now that we know what's new and what's not, how do you actually prepare for this? Let's move on to the game plan. It's time to build your new prep playbook.
Okay, so here's how you tackle this. Think of it as a 5-step plan. First, your materials. You've got to make sure they're updated to include the 2 new speaking tasks. Second, your practice needs to shift. You need to focus on speaking spontaneously and originally. Which leads to step 3, and this is crucial. You have to move beyond memorized templates. With humans scoring your content, they won't work anymore. Fourth, you need to work on your time management to build the stamina for a longer test. And finally, step 5, bring it all together by using the new official scored practice tests. They're really the only way to get a feel for the new format and scoring.
So after going through all of that, what's the one big idea here? What's the philosophy that's really driving all of these changes?
When you boil it all down, it comes down to a single word: authenticity. The goal here is to create a test that's a much fairer, much more accurate measure of how you actually communicate in the real world, in academic settings and professional ones.
And that really leaves us with one final, very important question that you need to ask yourself. It's not just about getting a test score anymore. It's about proving you're ready. So, looking at these changes, is your preparation really ready for the real world?